General Hospital spoilers have indicated that Jenz Sidwell is back in Port Charles for a good reason. He recently purchased Windermere, the Cassadine estate, for many years. There have been hints and suggestions that perhaps Sidwell has some Cassadine connections, or maybe he is even a Cassadine himself. Why did he purchase Windermere? Did he want some kind of connection to his family? General Hospital spoilers. Jenz Sidwell has reasons for being in Port Charles. It is still unclear why Sidwell has made Port Charles his home, but there are definitely reasons behind it. Is he trying to take down Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Bernard? Does he want revenge against some of the residents that he has already crossed paths with? These people include Lucky Spencer, Jonathan Jackson, Dr. Isaiah Gannon, Sawandi Wilson, Jason Morgan, Steve Burton, Anna Devane, Finola Hughes, Sasha Corbin, Sophia Madison, Holly Sutton, Emma Sams, and possibly others. What exactly is he looking for in Port Charles? GH spoilers. Jenz Sidwell has family in Port Charles. General Hospital spoilers have suggested that Sidwell could very well be a Cassadine. The question is, how is he related to the Cassadines? Could Tony, Mikos, or Victor Cassadine have another son that no one knows about? Is he the brother or cousin of Alexis Davis, Nancy Lee Grahn? There seems to be a hint of a connection between them, and we aren't talking about a romantic one. But maybe Sidwell is not a Cassadine at all and connected to them somehow. Could he be connected to Helena, Constance Towers? General Hospital spoilers. Jenz Sidwell has an axe to grind against the Cassadines. Sidwell could not be a Cassadine at all, but maybe he wants revenge against them. Did one or more of the Cassadines cross him in the past, and now is he back to collect? If Sidwell isn't a Cassadine, he certainly could be after what they had. This would explain his purchase of Windermere. GH spoilers. What do you think? What do you think? Is Sidwell a Cassadine or have a connection to them? Why is he back in Port Charles, and what does he really want? Could he be an enemy of the Cassadines, or does he want to take back what was meant to be his? General Hospital. The Cassadine revelation. The storm lashed against the windows of Windermere, its howling winds carrying whispers of a past long buried. Inside the sprawling Gothic estate, Jenz Sidwell stood by the grand fireplace, his silhouette stark against the flickering flames. He had finally claimed what he believed was his rightful inheritance. But why had he returned to Port Charles, and what secrets tied him to the enigmatic Cassadine family? Arrival in Port Charles. Jenz's arrival in Port Charles had sent ripples through the town's already intricate web of alliances and vendettas. With his sharp suits and piercing gaze, he immediately drew attention. His first act, the acquisition of Windermere, a move that raised eyebrows and questions. The estate had been a Cassadine stronghold for decades, a place soaked in their power and intrigue. Why would an outsider, albeit a wealthy one, take such an interest in it? Jenz was no stranger to the town's key players. Years ago, during a fleeting visit, he had crossed paths with Lucky Spencer, Anna Devane, and Jason Morgan. Each encounter had been brief but impactful, leaving behind a trail of unresolved tension. Now, as he reacquainted himself with these figures, his motives became the subject of fevered speculation. Unraveling the Cassadine connection, the rumors began almost immediately. Some whispered that Jenz had business dealings with Valentin Cassadine, while others suggested he might be a distant cousin of Alexis Davis. But the truth was far more complex. Jenz carried a secret, one he had guarded for years. His mother had once been entangled with a late Mikos Cassadine. Her name was Evelina Sidwell, a brilliant but reclusive historian who had worked on deciphering ancient texts for the Cassadines. Evelina and Mikos' affair had been brief but passionate, resulting in Jenz's birth. To protect her son from the Cassadines' dangerous legacy, Evelina had fled, raising Jenz in obscurity. As Jenz grew older, fragments of the truth began to surface. Evelina's journals, discovered after her death, revealed the extent of her connection to Mikos and the family's dark history. Jenz realized that his life had been shaped by forces he barely understood, and he resolved to uncover the full story. Confrontations and alliances. Jenz's first significant encounter in Port Charles was with Alexis Davis. Over drinks at the Metro Court, their conversation started cordially but quickly turned into a verbal chess match. Alexis, always wary of newcomers with ties to her family, probed Jenz about his intentions. "Windermere is more than just a property," she said, her tone guarded. "It's a symbol of everything the Cassadines represent. Why are you so interested in it?" Jenz's response was measured but firm. "Let's just say I'm reclaiming something that should never have been lost." Their conversation left Alexis with more questions than answers, but one thing was clear. Jenz Sidwell was no ordinary man. He carried himself with the same confidence and cunning that defined the Cassadines. Whether he was friend or foe remained to be seen. The revelation. The turning point came during a charity gala at the Metro Court. Jenz, ever the enigmatic figure, had donated a substantial sum, securing himself an invitation. The event was abuzz with speculation about his identity and motives. Midway through the evening, an unexpected guest arrived, Valentin Cassadine. The tension in the room was palpable as the two men locked eyes. Valentin, known for his calculating demeanor, approached Jenz with a mix of curiosity and suspicion. "You've stirred quite the commotion," Valentin said, his voice laced with irony. "Buying Windermere, inserting yourself into our world. What's your angle?" Jenz smirked. "Perhaps I'm simply taking what's mine." The room fell silent as Jenz produced a document. A faded birth certificate with Mikos Cassadine's name listed as his father. Gasps echoed through the hall as the implications sank in. Jenz wasn't just an interloper, he was family. Fallout and retribution. The revelation sent shockwaves through Port Charles. Some, like Alexis and Valentin, approached Jenz with caution, recognizing the potential threat he posed. Others, including Sonny Corinthos and Jason Morgan, viewed him as a wild card whose presence could destabilize the already fragile balance of power. Jenz, for his part, wasted no time asserting his claim. He began delving into the Cassadine archives stored at Windermere, uncovering secrets that could shift the town's dynamics. Among the discoveries was evidence of a conspiracy involving Helena Cassadine and a secret cache of assets hidden away for decades. As Jenz pieced together the puzzle, he found himself drawn into the Cassadines' labyrinthine schemes. One particularly dangerous revelation hinted at a plot to undermine Sonny Corinthos' empire. Jenz, harboring no love for the mob boss, considered using this information to his advantage. Redemption or ruin? Despite his initial plans for vengeance, Jenz found himself questioning his path. Encounters with Sasha Corbin and Anna Devane stirred something within him. Sasha's resilience in the face of personal tragedy and Anna's unwavering sense of justice reminded him of the values his mother had instilled in him. In a climactic showdown at Windermere, Jenz faced Valentin and Alexis. With the estate's power flickering around them, he laid his cards on the table. "I didn't come here to destroy the Cassadines," Jenz said, his voice steady. "I came to understand my place in this family and to ensure its future doesn't repeat its past mistakes." Valentin studied him, his expression inscrutable. "And what makes you think you can change anything?" Jenz's gaze was unwavering. "Because I'm not just a Cassadine. I'm also my mother's son, and she taught me to fight for what's right." The road ahead. As Port Charles adjusted to Jenz's presence, it became clear that his journey was far from over. The Cassadine legacy, with all its darkness and complexity, was now part of his identity. Whether he would rise as a force for redemption or succumb to the family's sinister pull remained to be seen. One thing was certain: Jenz Sidwell's return to Port Charles had changed everything. The town's tangled web of secrets, alliances, and vendettas had gained a new thread, one that promised to unravel truths long buried and reshape the lives of everyone it touched.